Over 100 temperature records about to break in the next 5 to 7 days. You need to hear that again. Over 100 temperature records. And that's just the cold. We're also tracking a bomb cyclone that could dump the most snow some areas have seen since 1989. Is your city in the danger zone? In the next 20 minutes, I am breaking down exactly where this extreme weather hits hardest and when you need to be ready. But first, drop your location in the comments right now. I am going live tomorrow morning with personalized updates for your area, and I am reading through every single comment tonight to make sure I cover your city. The more specific you are with your location, the more detailed I can be with your forecast. So tell me where you're rewatching from. Here as your reward for staying with me. Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. You could see 15 inches of snow with wind gusts near 80 miles per hour. Raleigh, 6 to 12 inches with blizzard conditions. Charleston, South Carolina, rare snowfall with a risk of ice making roads dangerous. Virginia Beach, 4 to 6 inches with winds hitting 60 miles per hour. Atlanta, coating to an inch, but temperatures dropping into the teens. Central Florida, possible light snow tomorrow night in Orlando and Tampa. That is not a typo, snow in Florida. But here's what nobody is talking about. This isn't just one storm. This is a pattern shift that's going to keep the entire eastern United States locked in extreme cold for at least the next 7 to 10 days. This Arctic blast is striking from Texas all the way to Maine. We're talking about an area covering millions of people across the southeast, mid-Atlantic, and northeast. The most intense Arctic air you can see on the map right now is sitting across the Midwest, and it's about to surge south. This is the same air mass that brought our last winter storm this past weekend, and it's recycling. It's twirling back around and unleashing even colder air into the southern plains and southeast. By tonight and early tomorrow, that bright white mass of Arctic air plunges into Georgia, the Carolinas, Alabama. By Sunday, extreme cold reaches parts of Florida. Many of you will wake up to record-breaking temperatures for this time of year. Over 100 temperature records expected to fall between now and next Friday. But here's what makes this different from a typical cold snap. We were not just dealing with cold air, we were dealing with a major winter storm at the exact same time. And this storm is going to rapidly intensify into what meteorologists call a bomb cyclone. That means the pressure drops so fast it's comparable to a Category 1 hurricane. When that happens late Saturday into early Sunday, snowfall rates explode and winds become dangerous. The low pressure center bottoms out around 970 millibars. That hurricane strength pressure. And it's happening right off the coast of the Carolinas. The winter storm begins tonight. Light to moderate snow is already filling into parts of Kentucky and West Virginia around 6 p.m. this evening. That is the appetizer. The main event starts when a low-pressure system comes out of Florida and moves up the coast late tonight and early tomorrow morning. Now, Saturday morning, this one to look like much. It is going to be a very broad area of low pressure, not particularly intense yet, but as it moves closer to the Carolinas by Saturday morning, organization increases. Moisture starts pulling from the northwest. That when we see moderate and heavy snow bands setting up across North Carolina, South Carolina, even back into Georgia. Here as something crazy, we could see lake effect snow in central Tennessee and southern Alabama Saturday morning. Yes, lake effect snow. We usually talk about lake effect up near the Great Lakes, and we will see that over Lake Michigan this weekend. But some of the tiny lakes in Tennessee and Alabama could actually produce localized enhancement. That's how cold and unstable this air mass is. After sunrise Saturday, snowfall coverage explodes across the Carolinas, Georgia, and eastern Tennessee. Heavy bands set up over far eastern North Carolina near Cape Hatteras. There's going to be a very sharp divide between rain and snow. One concern I need to mention is ice. There's a risk of minor ice accumulation Saturday morning, mainly around the Myrtle Beach area and very far southern North Carolina. Charleston could see freezing rain leading to around 1/100th to maybe 1/20th of an inch of ice. That's not enough to cause widespread power outages, but it is absolutely enough to make roadways slick. Travel impacts will be significant. Wind is the other major player here. Winds will be very high during the daytime Saturday, especially along the coast. Power outages are possible, not necessarily from ice, but from the wind itself. By mid-morning Saturday, snowfall coverage increases dramatically. But here, a critical detail. There will be dry slots that set up across parts of North Carolina and South Carolina. These are areas where precipitation just stops for a period of time. That naturally decreases snowfall totals in some locations. So you could have a situation where Raleigh gets 10 or 11 inches, but one county over only sees 6 or 7. That's the nature of these dry slots. It creates huge variability over short distances. By lunchtime Saturday, snow remains heavy near Cape Hatteras, eastern North Carolina, Virginia Beach, Richmond, and Roanoke. As far south as southern Georgia, light to moderate snow pushes down toward Valdosta. During Saturday afternoon, snowfall spreads across the Carolinas, Virginia, even into southern Maryland. Late Saturday night into early Sunday, the snow concentrates mainly along the coastal regions. North Carolina coast, Virginia Beach, back toward Myrtle Beach. Inland areas want to be dealing with nearly as much by this point because the storm is rapidly intensifying and moving offshore. Now let me address Florida directly. If you're in Orlando or Tampa, there is a legitimate possibility of light snowfall tomorrow night. It's going to be cold enough and there will be moisture. We could get some snow flurries coming off the Gulf. This is rare, but it's on the table. Meanwhile, most of southern New England, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., you're not getting a big winter storm. If your snow shovel has been waiting for a career change, good news, you will not be dealing with significant snow this weekend. This storm tracks too far offshore to give you major accumulation. Let me jump to what I think is going to happen with snow totals, because this is where the forecast gets interesting. The National Weather Service is calling for widespread 5 to 10 inches pretty much anywhere in North Carolina and South Carolina. Around Savannah, maybe a coating to an inch. Atlanta area, 1 to 2 inches. Virginia Beach, 4 to 6 inches. New Jersey and Long Island, coating to 2 inches. Nantucket and Cape Cod, maybe around 6 inches. I think that conservative, especially for the Carolinas. The HRRR model has been coming out with much bigger numbers. Showing 12 to 18 inches across almost all of central and eastern North Carolina and into parts of upstate South Carolina. That a much more significant scenario. What do I think? I think we land somewhere between these two. Generally speaking, in North Carolina, expect widespread 6+ inches for most areas. If you end up in one of those dry slots, numbers will be lower. If you read just east of the Appalachian Mountains, numbers could be lower. But basically, anywhere in central or eastern North Carolina, 6 to 12 inches is on the table. Near Cape Hatteras, we could easily push closer to 15 inches in some spots just south of Virginia Beach. I would not be surprised if this storm overperforms. We're talking about very cold air diving south. That means all this precipitation is going to be very fluffy snow, more volume per inch of liquid. That creates deeper accumulations and much more blowing and drifting. The snow is going to stack up fast. Areas like Atlanta and Savannah, I don't think you have much hope for significant accumulation, probably right around a coating to maybe an inch. Virginia, I think the National Weather Service numbers are accurate, but if you are in North Carolina or South Carolina, do not be surprised if totals increase. Track matters. Moisture matters. If both come together perfectly, we could see those higher-end numbers. Make sure you are subscribed because we could have another update later today if anything changes. Things are still evolving with this forecast. Wind gusts are another massive concern. We expecting intense winds during the daytime Saturday, and this doesn't just affect snow areas. Even in the southeast, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, we talking about wind gusts around 40 to 50 miles per hour. That makes temperatures feel brutally cold with the strong northerly wind. For areas seeing snow, blowing snow and drifts are ongoing all day Saturday in the Carolinas and Virginia. Inland areas deal with gusts around 25 to 35 miles per hour. On the immediate coastline from Myrtle Beach up to southern Maryland, gusts could hit 50 to 60 miles per hour. Those winds only intensify Saturday evening into early Sunday as the low pressure bombs out. Cape Hatteras could see gusts near 80 miles per hour. That is absolutely crazy. Even inland areas closer to Raleigh will deal with gusts around 40 to 45 miles per hour. That's enough to cause blizzard conditions. I fully expect blizzard warnings to be issued for the first time in 4 to 8 years in some of these locations this weekend. Blowing snow, drifting snow, visibility on roadways reduced to a quarter mile or less. Travel impacts are going to be major. The winter storm severity index has been maxed out along the east coast of North Carolina. Extreme impacts expected in Cape Hatteras and far eastern North Carolina. Red zones indicate major impacts. Orange is moderate, yellow is minor. Back over South Carolina and Georgia, large areas are outlined with at least moderate impacts expected, especially east of Atlanta and north of Savannah. Charleston, Greenville, Columbia, all of you are dealing with at least moderate to major impacts. Get ready now if you haven't already. Now let's talk about the Arctic blast, because this is where things get really serious for a much larger area. This cold outbreak is massive. Even if you're not getting snow, you're getting extreme cold. And I am talking about dangerous, record-breaking cold. Temperatures are going to feel a lot colder than the actual air temperature because of those strong winds. Wind chills in some areas could be life-threatening. We re-looking at exposure limits of just minutes in some locations by Sunday and Monday. The worst of the cold arrives Sunday through Wednesday across the southeast and east coast. Record low temperatures are likely in dozens of cities. Some areas could see their coldest temperatures in years. What concerns me most is that this isn't a quick hit. This cold air is going to stick around. Even during the middle of next week, when you might think things are getting better, they not. We are dealing with at least one, possibly two more shots of cold air by the middle and end of next week. The eastern United States stays locked in this pattern for at least 7 to 10 days. Here is what makes this particularly difficult. Over 100,000 people are still without power this morning from last weekend's winter storm. Nashville, Tennessee, for example, isn't getting above freezing until at least Monday. There is still ice on the ground from that last system. Now we repiling more cold on top of existing problems. That's dangerous. Some areas in the Mid-Atlantic, Ohio Valley, and Northeast could see additional Arctic air reach down toward Florida again during the middle and end of next week. Let me walk through what this means city by city, because I know that's what you really need. Atlanta, coating to an inch of snow Saturday, but temperatures dropping into the teens Sunday. Protect your pipes. Let faucets drip Saturday and Sunday nights. Wind chills make it feel even colder. Charleston, snow likely Saturday with that ice risk I mentioned. Even a thin glaze makes roads treacherous. Wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour along the coast. Your window is Saturday morning through afternoon. Columbia and Greenville, you are looking at moderate impacts with several inches possible. This depends on where heavy bands set up. Myrtle Beach, coastal location, means higher winds. 50 to 60 mile per hour gusts likely. The combination of wind, ice risk, and blowing snow makes travel extremely dangerous Saturday. Now North Carolina, you are the bullseye. Raleigh, 6 to 12 inches is my estimate. If you under heavier bands and avoid dry slots, you push higher. If a dry slot sets up over you, closer to 6. This is one of those forecasts where exact location matters tremendously. Heavy snow Saturday morning through afternoon. Winds gusting 40 to 45 miles per hour. Blizzard conditions possible. Charlotte and Greensboro, you are west of the main action, but still getting several inches, enough to cause significant impacts and travel disruption. Cape Hatteras and the Outer Banks, this is extreme. 15 inches possible. Wind gusts near 80 miles per hour late Saturday into Sunday. This is as close to a coastal blizzard as it gets. Extreme impacts expected. Shelter in place. Do not attempt travel Saturday night into Sunday. Virginia Beach, 4 to 6 inches with 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. Timing is Saturday into Saturday night. Coastal flooding also a concern. Richmond and Roanoke, you are getting moderate snowfall. Several inches likely. Richmond sees less wind than the coast, but still gusty enough for blowing snow. Roanoke, this could be one of your bigger mountain events. Valdosta, Georgia, light to moderate snow Saturday. Rare for you. The bigger story is the cold that follows. Now here's what just got more complicated. The models are showing potential for not just this system, but hints of another disturbance next week. Way too early for details, but this pattern is active. We could be dealing with multiple waves of winter weather. What happens when you get this much cold air locked in place. Disturbances can tap into it and create additional snow chances. Let me talk practical impacts. If you're in the snow zone, Saturday is not a travel day. Cancel plans. Visibility will be terrible. Roads covered. Some areas impassable, especially true along the coast where winds make everything worse. Power outages are real. High winds Saturday night could bring down trees and power lines. Even areas without much snow could see outages from wind. If you lose power in this cold, that's dangerous. Have a way to stay warm without electricity. Never use generators indoors. For those in the South not used to this, exposed skin can freeze in minutes once wind chills hit single digits or below zero. Cover all exposed skin. Wear layers. Limit outdoor time. Pipes are major concern. Let faucets drip starting Saturday night. Keep cabinet doors open under sinks for warm air circulation. Frozen burst pipes during this cold means major damage when plumbers are overwhelmed. Keep half a tank of gas in your vehicle. If stranded, you need heat. Keep blankets, water, snacks in your car. Check on elderly neighbors and anyone vulnerable. Make sure they have heat, food, medication. Citrus growers in Florida, you know what to do. This cold threatens crops. Protect what you can. Upper Midwest, you already dealing with cold, but this reinforces it. You in frostbite territory Sunday and Monday. Wind chills could be life-threatening. Limit outdoor exposure. Here's my transparency moment. This forecast could still shift. The track could move 50 miles east or west, and that changes everything for some of you. Snowfall totals could go up or down. The models will continue to refine overnight. Both the European model and the GFS are showing similar solutions right now, which gives me high confidence in the overall pattern. But the details, the exact placement of heavy bands, the precise totals, those will get clearer. I'll have better information tomorrow morning. What I'm not doing is sensationalizing this. I am informing you. This is a significant winter storm for the Carolinas and Virginia. This is dangerous cold for a much larger area. These are facts based on the data we have right now. Weather forecasting walks a fine line. We need to communicate risk without causing panic. If Ivy succeeded at that today, I appreciate you trusting me with this information. Tomorrow's update is critical. I am going live by 8 a.m. Eastern, possibly earlier if we see major changes overnight. I'll have updated model data, refined snow totals, temperature adjustments, and preliminary information on that potential next system. Things could change overnight. You'll want this update. Make sure your notifications are turned on because if anything significant changes, I'll be here with information. Drop your location in the comments one more time. Tell me where you rewatching from so I can give you personalized information tomorrow. Action deadlines. If you're in a snow area, prepare by tonight. Tomorrow morning it begins. If you're preparing for extreme cold, you have until Saturday night and Sunday to get everything ready. After that, you're dealing with it. Check on neighbors. Make sure anyone vulnerable has what they need. This is when we take care of each other. I'm not here to panic you. I'm here to inform you. This is a significant weather event for millions of people. The snow is real. The cold is dangerous. But you have time to prepare, and that's why I'm here giving you this information now. Subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on notifications. Tomorrow's update is essential. The forecast is still evolving. Models will update overnight. I'll be tracking every detail so you have the information you need when you need it. This is a multi-day event, and I'll be here every step of the way.